doing? You're watching Zoelise. Today we're going to talk about something a little weird, but something that I think needs to be talked about. And it's mainly just frequently asked questions that I get about my face. And I'm making a whole video about this because I get a lot of questions about my face. So I'm just going to bring it up in a whole YouTube video for you guys because I love you. So just to kick it off, I would say of course, the main question that I get all the time, and you're probably thinking it right now, what's going on with my face? There's a lot of different ways to ask that simple question. What happened to your face? Are you okay? What the is wrong with your face? Believe me, I've heard it all. And so the question of what happened to my face? What's wrong with my face? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with my face. I was simply born. This is a birthmark, and yes, it's on my face, so it's very visible, and I get it. It looks like a bruise, it looks like a burn, but it's not. Most of the time, people are just curious of, oh my gosh, because it looks bad. I get it. But most of the time, people are like, oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay? Did someone hit you? I've gotten that a lot. But I've also had really rude and mean people who just come up to my face and start poking it, seeing if it'll hurt if they keep poking my face. And I'm not kidding you, it has happened a lot. I've been called many, many names because of my birthmark, but the truth is, it's just part of me. It's just part of my face. Nothing's wrong with my face. That brings up the next question of what kind of birthmark is it? My birthmark is a vascular birthmark, meaning it is literally caused by my blood. And there are a few different types of vascular birthmarks. One vascular birthmark that's actually very common is called an angel kiss or stork bite, depending on where it is. If it's at the front of the scalp, it's called an angel kiss. If it's at the back of the scalp, it's called a stork bite. And it's literally just skin pigmentation because there's a lot of blood going around your skull there, so your skin's just a slightly different color, but there's nothing wrong. It's just skin pigmentation, and it may fade as the person grows. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It is just skin pigmentation. Another vascular birthmark, which you may have seen, but most of the time it's not very common in adults. That is the strawberry hemangioma. Most of the time, the strawberry hemangioma comes up as like a red mole, and it'll protrude out of the skin. I know my sister actually, she had one on one of her arms. But the thing about strawberry hemangiomas is most of the time they go away by the time the kid is a teenager. But it's caused by your capillaries, it's caused by your veins. They're just kind of stuck together until you get a little bump that's all red. It might be sensitive, it might get, it might be a little uncomfortable, a little itchy, but it's just part of the kid and it'll most likely go away. I know when my sister had hers, she had it, and then when she was about 10 years old, it just faded away and it's not there anymore. And then there's the vascular birthmark that I have, which is called a port wine stain. The thing about a port wine stain birthmark is it's not gonna go away on its own. It may lighten up on its own. It's not a huge possibility though. It can be anywhere on a child's body. Wherever there's blood, you can get a port wine stain birthmark. It is not something that's just going to, there it is. And it's also not gonna be just like, it's gone. There are some health concerns involved with a port wine stain birthmark though. One of the main ones being, if it's not treated, there's a high possibility that it'll swell and look like a big bruised tumor. You have to remember, vascular birthmarks are caused by your blood. So if a birthmark is on your neck, on your face, it's a big concern for possible seizures, especially if the person has Sturge-Weber syndrome. There's also the concern that because when I was a baby, my birthmark was going into my eye, my doctors were concerned that I would go blind because it can cause glaucoma. So in my youth, I had 12 procedures done to try to get rid of the birthmark. And again, it's a vascular birthmark. It's caused by the veins and the capillaries. So really the only way to try, the procedure done to get rid of the port wine stain birthmark is laser treatment. It'll reduce the swelling, it'll get rid of the discoloration, and for some people, one treatment and it's done. You don't have to worry about it. Then there's some of us who, again, I've had 12 procedures and it's still there. After my 12th procedure, the doctors were just like, hey, it's not getting any smaller. Let's just make sure from here it doesn't get any bigger. So, now here I am in my 20s and I'm just keeping an eye on it, making sure it doesn't swell or anything. And that ties into the third question regarding my face, my birthmark. Have you ever thought of getting rid of it? I will admit, when I was a kid, yeah, absolutely I did. But not anymore. As a kid, I was picked on a lot. I was bullied, I was beaten up because I looked different. And at least growing up for me in a small town where everyone knows everyone, well, there's pros and cons to that. Being that everyone knew everyone, well, everyone knew that I was the weird looking girl. And unfortunately, in a small town, the pretty girls don't want to hang out with the weird girl, they want to hang out with other pretty girls. So it was really hard for me to make friends because I was weird, I was ugly, I was less than to lots of kids' eyes, unfortunately. And so through grade school, middle school, high school, I really struggled with self-esteem. I struggled to learn to love myself for a really long time. I unfortunately hated my birthmark for a very long time. I called it a burden, I called it ugly, I called it my biggest flaw because I really thought it made me disgusting and ugly. I did everything I could to hide it. I was 9 to 10 years old, I started wearing concealer to try to cover it up because I wanted to look like a normal person. I wanted to look pretty. From there, I started parting my hair to the side, trying to cover it up. I started coloring my hair black because I realized if my hair's black, it's harder to see through, so I can easily cover up my birthmark. There was a lot of self-loathing going on back then, and it took me a long time to grow to accept it. It wasn't until I was about 20 that I finally started to see my birthmark as an extension of me and something that made me unique and beautiful. And it was hard too, because for my whole life I thought this thing on my face, it made me so ugly, it made me a burden. It was a burden to me. I couldn't make friends. It was hard to fit in anywhere because I looked different. But as you get older and you learn who you are and where you belong, finally I started to see myself as, you know, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not ugly, and my birthmark makes me who I am. And now here I am in my later 20s, and I'm embracing my birthmark. And I love that I have this. I can honestly say if I didn't have my birthmark, I don't know who I would be. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm beautiful as I am. The way I see it, we all look different in some way, shape, or form. Got different eye colors, hair textures, body shapes, you name it. We're all different in some way, but we're all human, and we are all as important as everyone else. We're all beautiful. So, birthmark or no, just remember, you're beautiful.